That hurt.
I've told you before to be careful where you put your legs.
I was only trying to be helpful.
I can help myself. Hello? They never make these cars big enough, do they? Well, you all settled in? Right, we can begin. My name is...
Alfie?
Alfie.
Great beginning to Alfie.
Yeah.
He's that talking to the camera. You see it in a few other movies. But I think Alfie was the first time I'm aware of seeing it.
I looked at these two, Tom Jones with Albert Finney and Larry Olivier in Richard III. They did stuff to the camera, but they did it to an audience. We did it like that on Alfie. We did it to an audience, and it didn't work. And Lewis brought the camera in very close and then said, just do it like you're an aside, you know. So he'd be looking at Shelley Winters, and he'd suddenly go, she's in beautiful condition.
You're a little sex pot, ain't you?
Am I?
Yeah, you're a little lust box, ain't you? My little lust box. I might settle down with her. With a wife like Ruby, you wouldn't want nothing on the side, you know what I mean?
Bedroom.
Alfie wasn't the most sympathetic character, was he? I mean, I know you played him in a lot of people.
No, I know, but I seem to get away with that a lot right through my career. I played a lot of unsympathetic characters. I think that's because no man is a villain to himself, and I always remember that. And I always give him some sadness.
Oh, listen, he's dangerous. He can make you love the evil.
He's not afraid to go all the way with it. Without any trimming or gloss on it, he makes you care about him. And that's the secret of all movies, if you care about the person.
The part he played in Alfie, who was very strong and very weak, it really appealed to women and became handsome and attractive.
Don't.
Hey?
Don't go in there.
When the woman has the abortion and it was a beautiful, beautiful piece of acting.
He said in that, the birds, we want their pleasure, not their pain. And I heard that young, relatively young, and it made quite an impact. And now that's not just the line, but it's the way he said it.
What's it all about?
And of course the song was extraordinary. You know, it had that haunting quality of what is life all about.
What's it all about?
And Michael can make you speculate on that by just the way he looks at you.
Alfie was a film that symbolized a generation. You know, it was a very important movie of its time. Just as over here in the States The Graduate was, it really spoke to a generation in the late 60s.
Michael Caine was the 60s, you know what I mean? There was the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and there was Michael Caine.
Now, Michael became enormously swinging 60s, a representative of that age, and became a personality all around town in London. I mean, he was the funny boy.
Doesn't hurt under there, does it?
All over the place he hurt.
Does it? Yes. Does it pinch these things?
Yes, very much.
A little bit. So it looks great.
You're living in London, you're getting the success which you dreamed of, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Were you close with the other actors from that period?
Well, I shared a flat with Terence Stamp. I understudied Peter O'Toole.
And you hung out with John Barry quite a lot back then?
Yeah, well, I lost my flat, and at one time I lived with John Barry. I was the first person to hear Goldfinger. He kept me awake all night with a piano, and I came down in the morning, and he sat up all night. It was like one of those movies with the stubble, you know.
He's the man with the Midas touch.
If a Frenchman comes up and asks a girl if she wants to get laid,
That's romantic. If an Englishman does it, she says, "What do you think? I have a prostitute."
How do you do it?
Well, I certainly never ask. I take a lesson from Vance Packard and use hidden persuaders.
You no doubt enjoyed your heavy-lidded handsomeness to its full potential, Michael.
Yeah, I use the eyelids quite a lot.
I noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm sure back then, did you get many refusals, or was it just a pretty 100% hit rate?
I've got to be a gentleman and not talk about that. It was very interesting, the 60s. I tell you the difference. To me, it's like the 50s were in black and white and the 60s were in Technicolor. Everything suddenly became in colour. It was wonderful.
The 60s also brought Caine success in Hollywood. Not only was he nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for Alfie, but Shirley MacLaine personally asked him to be her leading man in the crime caper Gambit.
I had seen Ipcress File, and I just adored Michael's performance in that. And when I met him, he was just delicious. You know, he was very young. He wasn't married. He was going to, I believe it was called the Daisy. There was a lot of dancing after hours. He was experiencing Hollywood and starlets and whatever he could rustle up.
They gave a party for me, but everyone came because it was Shirley, not because it was me. Nobody gave a toss who I was. They came because it was Shirley MacLaine, who was very popular. And the first person to walk in was Gloria Swanson. It's true. Who was small. The second person to walk in was Frank Sinatra.
He met all of the Rat Pack and all the people that I hung out with, and listen, he is so real and so authentic and never forgot his working class background, and that is what people resonate to. And so he was popular from the beginning because he was his real self.
How would you like to make $5,000? Very serious American dollars.
And a genuine guaranteed British passport.
What would I have to do?
Oh, nothing too difficult. Slide into some beautiful clothes, travel in first-class luxury, be entertained in top-notch style, pretend to be my wife.
Oh, pretend?
Yes. Just pretend, Miss Caine.
What's the catch, Mr. Dean? Is it dishonest?
Oh, do I look like a crook?
You do a little.
Shirley really enjoyed herself on that one.
You can see she's having fun.
Yeah, she had a lot of fun.
It was hysterical. He came to me one day and he said, "I need to have a talk with you about young women's pantyhose." He said, I can't figure out how to get them off in a romantic and smooth way. So we went through kind of a mini rehearsal of how to do that.
You're a clever girl, and I love you.
Oh, he would sort of report to me how things went with the pantyhose the next day when we were on the set working.
Let's talk about some of the other leading ladies you had after that, because through the 60s you worked with, I just think, like all the biggest female names in the business.
I worked with Jane Fonda and Faye Dunaway, Liz Taylor.
How was it working with Liz?
Great. Real professional. Just so long as you're prepared to do close-ups all morning until 10 o'clock. I always said to her, I said, I know you're a big star and I know you're a professional, I said, because you don't have to come in till 10 o'clock in the morning and you're never late. But she was great. She would come on the set with a butler with a big jug of Bloody Mary, just in case anyone needed to pick me up.
Because you got into the phase where you were drinking a lot.
I drank a lot at one time, yeah.
How much were you drinking in your your heavier?
Well, I drink a bottle of vodka a day, quite easily.
And why were you drinking? It was fun, or was it because
you were... fun. It was just fun, and I got used to it. I wasn't an alcoholic or anything like that. I just got drunk a lot. But when I met Shakira, which was when I was 38, I cut the drinking right down then.
You thought she was Brazilian when you first saw it?
Yeah, she was in a commercial for coffee. It took place in Brazil, with coffee beans and all that.
Everybody do the Maxwell shake. Get a new coffee you'll all want to make.
It not only sounds better, it tastes better.
Everybody do the Maxwell shake. Get a new coffee you'll all want to make.
But I tracked her down through the advertising agency, and she, in actual fact, she lived in the Fulham Road, which was handy. It saved me a lot of fare. I was going to Brazil to find her.
And thin and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking.
I just went nuts. I kept phoning. I think she came out with me because I just came just a pain in the butt, you know, just stopped me phoning.
And why did she not want to go? Because of your reputation?
I had a bad name, yeah. She shared a flat with 5 other girls, and they all told her not to go out with me. And she just risked it one night.
He was very attractive, amazingly, deadly attractive, and funny, could be dangerous, but all the things that challenges you. And it was love at first sight. I think we both kind of knew that we'd be together for a while. I didn't know it would last for about 32 years. That's how long we've been together now.
We're so intertwined with each other that our life works off of glances or body language. Half of it we don't even say.
With Shakira, Caine has a second daughter, Natasha, and remains close to his daughter Nikki from his first marriage.
He's a great father to his daughters. They're his pride and joy. I mean, he's never happier when he's at home and he has his family around him.
He became frightfully domesticated immediately that he fell in love with Shakira, who was so gorgeous.
This womanizing movie star, you know, women throwing themselves at him, all of that suddenly turned into this guy that knew she was his destiny.
She's a delightful woman who has more black cashmere coats than anyone deserves.
They've always just flown in from the other side of the world, you know, and they've come here to this party, and they look wonderful. The jet lag alone would slaughter me. They always look incredible.
You made one movie together, didn't you?
She was the princess in The Man Who Would Be King.
It's a wonderful film, and you and Sean together on screen is...
Well, you see, we were very close friends anyway, so there was a great sense of camaraderie before we started. I mean, we're still close friends. I was 24 and he was 27 when we met. Yeah, he's older than me.
Yeah, well, he looks it.